Decepticons are the primary enemy of the Autobots and are the antagonist group in the Transformers series. They can transform into various objects such as cars, airplanes, and military equipment. Compared to Autobots, Decepticons are more advantageous on air. Several Decepticons have the ability to fly. Their flight ability is what troubles the Autobots most of the time. Previously, we ranked some of the coolest and most popular Autobots in the Transformers series. But these Autobots wouldn't be popular nor be a hero without these notable antagonists. So, we decided to make a list highlighting the legendary villains and rank them as the most infamous of them all. Here are the 10 most infamous Decepticons in the Transformers series ranked. Before we start, if you guys find this video interesting, please let us know by smashing the like button. And if you enjoy the content on our video playlist and want to see more, just click subscribe. And don't forget to turn on the notification bell to get the latest updates. Number 10. Astrotrain. Astrotrain is a triple changer. If you're not familiar with Generation 1 Transformer lingo, that means he's got 2 alternate modes instead of just 1. He can transform into a space shuttle as well as a jet, which means Astrotrain spends a lot of time shuttling around most of the Decepticon army around to different missions. He's not particularly known for taking down any legendary Autobots, and spends much of his time terrorizing helpless humans if he's not being the Decepticon Uber. The cons high up in the list have much more frightening achievements to brag about, making him less noticeable. Number 9. Cyclonus. The former Seeker Skywarp was transformed into Cyclonus, and will go on to become one of Galvatron's first and most loyal followers, taking the place of Starscream after Megatron finally tires of his treachery. Cyclonus is something like Astrotrain in that he's frequently used in his alt mode, a massive spaceship that Galvatron and the others can fly in, but the Decepticon is still a threat outside it. He backs his loyalty with strength, and in the later series eventually becomes one of the Decepticons, tapped to become one of their side's target masters, granted a weapon with its own intelligence and robotic alt form. Number 8. ProtoKing. ProtoKing is one of the combiner types on this list. Typically, the mere process of combining creates massive flaws for the fusion in question. Combining 5 minds into one often renders it dumb, like Abominus, or trapped between too many separate thought processes, like Computron, or even needlessly arrogant, like Superion. ProtoKing combines the 5 Predacons, Razorclaw, Tantrum, Rampage, Headstrong, and Dive-Bomb into a single con that manages to pose an incredible threat. They all have a shared love for hunting down Autobots, creating a single-minded persona that's capable of utilizing all of their strengths without drawbacks. Number 7. Devastator. Devastator, the OG combiner and Decepticon badass. As a combination of 6 Constructicons, Devastator's immense size and strength made him a fan favorite as well as a very dangerous and powerful opponent for the Autobots. For some time, the Autobots had no soldiers of similar size to fight back, before Superion was built and Omega Supreme arrived, so Devastator proved to be a big shift in the balance of power between Autobots and Decepticons. Number 6. Scorponok. The original Scorponok is terrifying enough to be honest. The Decepticon was built from scratch by the alien Zarak from the planet Nibulos, bonded to that alien and used as a means for him to join with the Decepticons. There, Zarak, as Scorponok, would become one of the highest ranking members of the Decepticons, and with good reason. He can transform into both a city and a scorpion, the video game boss of animals. In current comics, Scorponok lacks the ability to turn into a city, but he's no less deadly. Number 5. Shockwave. Shockwave is by far the single most dangerous scientist on Cybertron. Already not hindered by the laws and morals of decent bots, Shockwave's high placement in the Decepticon army means he has the backing of Megatron as well. But much like Starscream and Scorponok, that doesn't make him loyal by any means. Once a personal Siberian senator before the war began, Shockwave served as something of a mentor to Orion Pax, the Autobot who would one day become Optimus Prime. His trust and generosity were repaid with a savage Imperial ritual by the corrupt Cybertronian government, removing his face and hands. Shockwave has been attempting to inflict his own personal torment on the universe ever since. Between his cold, hard logic and willingness to do anything in order to succeed, Shockwave is one of the toughest cons to defeat. Number 4. Soundwave. On a purely aesthetic level, Soundwave is the coolest Transformer. Along with Optimus Prime, he's the most iconic figure in the franchise. Your grandmother might not remember much about Transformers, but there's a decent chance she remembers the tape recorder one. His toys within a toy aspect with his cassette minions made him one of the most popular toys of the original line. On a character level, Soundwave is an intentional enigma. He doesn't speak often, but when he does, it's in a synthesized staccato diction, and generally not much known than a cryptic command or suggestion. Arguably Megatron's most trusted lieutenant, Soundwave has little patience for the treacherous machinations of his less loyal compatriots. His personal motives are generally kept close to the vest, which only adds to his mysterious appeal. Endlessly adaptable, Soundwave fits both as a master of spycraft for the Decepticons, as well as a member of frontline battles. The #1 communications officer of the Decepticons, this guy's cassette collection will bring down the house at any garage sale. Number 3. Overlord. Most Decepticons on some fundamental level are scary. They're gigantic, homicidal alien robots who would happily stomp you to death if you have something they want. Overlord is not just scary, he's a horror movie nightmare. There is essentially no Transformer, Autobot, or Decepticon who would ever want to cross paths with him. A genetic freak on multiple levels, Overlord is essentially unkillable. This might only be mildly horrifying if he were any other Decepticon, but Overlord's sadism transcends the usual parameters of the Cybertronian war. Indeed, Overlord has no particular alliance to Megatron or the Decepticon cause, he just really enjoys murdering people. Number 2. Starscream. The high-flying jet fighter serves as Megatron's second in command and hopes to one day lead supreme over the Decepticons. Starscream is always looking for ways to get ahead of Megatron, but sadly has failed at every attempt. Even in death, Starscream's spark will stop at nothing to overthrow his master. This eager little beaver has real gumption, and that gets him the runner-up spot. Arguably, Megatron has never made him second in command because of his strength in battle, but rather because it keeps the Decepticon leader on his toes, reminding him that his power could be snatched away in a moment if he's ever lazy. Still, they're mistaking his excessive greed and guile for lack of proper strength. As the leader of the Seekers, Starscream owns the skies. Before showing you the most infamous Decepticon on our list, here are some honorable mentions of some nasty villains from Transformers that are undoubtedly memorable. Number 1. Megatron. The leader of the Decepticons, with aspirations of total domination across the universe. Megatron's military style leads to destruction and chaos wherever he goes. His cruelty and malice instill fear in his underlings and malcontent from his enemies. He's the kind of guy that will stop at nothing to get his way, unless he's overrun by Autobots, at which point he'll cry out, "Retreat!" Before he led the most fearsome army in the universe, Megatron was a miner forced into becoming a gladiator, fighting his way to the top. And during that time, he found the inspiration to rise up and create the Decepticons. Since then, he's never forgotten his roots, and defeated almost everyone who's challenged him on this list. In the Transformers universe, filled with giant, powerful, and most godlike robots competing for power, it can be difficult to determine who's the strongest and most powerful Transformers are. These characters never fail to give fans the thrill and excitement as they give their heroes a battle they will never forget. Years have passed, and many new characters that are strong and cool have appeared, making fans want more and couldn't wait for the release of their cool merchandise. This popular show was a great source of excitement and has inspired kids to become creative and just enjoy their childhood days. Were you guys surprised by our top 10 most infamous Decepticon characters? What are the best moments you remember on the Transformers series? Who's your favourite character from the Transformers? Please shout it down in the comments and let us know why. And also, if you want to give your family a surprise gift for any special occasion, you can always check out our website and look for creative and adorable gifts. This has been Music Chess, your Cybertron news source, signing out.